Well, welcome to the Living in Utah live question and answer session here on Thursday evening. It is 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Welcome to the channel. I am a local real estate agent in the state of Utah, and on these live events, you're welcome to ask me questions, and I will try to provide the answers. So, any questions you might have, I'll do my very best. I love where I live, and I live where I love. I love the state of Utah. I think it's a great place. I think it's one of the great places that we have in the United States. So it's an open forum. You're welcome to ask any kind of questions that you would like. And as far as what's going on in the state of Utah and around the area, etc., talk about a couple things. Also, this week's weather. It has been a little bit on the cool side. Not much, no real, a little bit of snow the other day. Not much to really stick around. Probably about half an inch to an inch, and it's pretty much gone now. So a little bit in the mountains. Even the ski resorts didn't get a large amount like they would like to have. But things that are going around the state of Utah. One thing that came to my mind here in the last day or so was the state of Utah has a surplus of money. They have extra money. So they are trying to decide what they're going to do with the excess funds. One of the things that they're talking about many things, but one of the things would be to lower the income tax rate that we pay in the state of Utah. There's also been a bit of a push. Some people would like to see sales tax on food to disappear. But, right now, so we used to pay the full 7.25% sales tax on all food you bought when you went to the grocery store. That got reduced. I think we pay about half that now. It got reduced to probably around about half, maybe 4%. And some people would like to get that eliminated. So, good evening. What are the local customs around here for who pays the escrow fees, closing costs? Well, in the market we have right now, everything's negotiable. Everything's negotiable. But in the market that we have right now, pretty much it's being split at where the seller is paying their closing costs and the buyer is paying their closing costs. Now, in the past, when we were more of a balanced market as opposed to a seller's market, a buyer could ask for the closing costs to be paid or a percentage of them to be paid, et cetera, and it was happening. But right now, with it being a seller's market, you can guarantee if it's a multiple offer situation, there's going to be quite a few offers without closing costs going to be included on the seller side. So, if you ask the seller to pay your closing costs, it's a number that the seller's going to have to look at. And if they get offers without paying any of it, the offer would be, a little bit less desirable, I should say. So, but then there's other numbers that factor in too, because if you're willing to spend, say, $25,000, $30,000, $50,000 above asking, and you're asking to pay some closing costs, and they're only getting offers of maybe $5,000 or $10,000 over ask, then it still looks like a strong offer. But if it's two exact same offers and they're looking at having to spend maybe $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in closing costs, it might sway the deal one way or the other. So a little bit of snow this week. Had a friend that went skiing. And he told me there was not much new snow in the on the mountainside. So here's an article. Does not relate to the state of Utah, but I thought it was pretty interesting. there is a California city of San Jose that they have passed an amendment that would require gun owners to have liability insurance. And this would be the first city in the United States to require gun owners to carry liability insurance. So it's very controversial. And I honestly, if there was a bill like that in the state of Utah, I'm not too sure how that would go 100%. But they reckon there's about 55,000 households in San Jose who legally own at least one registered gun. And they would be required to have liability insurance. It would cover losses or damage resulting from accidental use of the firearm, including death, injury, or property damage. So interesting. So, but yeah, that's what they're passing there in California. And that's actually one of the things that sometimes when I talk to people from California, that is one of the issues, some of the gun rights issues that they complain about that is going on in the state of California, and if that would change in Utah. So in the United States, there was a report by the CDC, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Utah ranks, it's the second most active state as far as physical activity. We rank number 2 in the country. So, and they define physical activity as activity that is outside of work, such as running, walking for exercise, or even gardening. So very interesting report. And I like that report about the state of Utah. Some of our neighboring states, Nevada was actually in the red. Utah and Colorado and Washington and Vermont were was the top 4 states for physical activity. Good. I feel we are attracting as a state more retirees. And that is one of the reasons that they want to live an active lifestyle, whether it's just walking the dog in a park, going on a hiking trail, biking trail, skiing, golfing, snowboarding, many activities. Some people are choosing the state of Utah in their retirement years to stay active and hopefully live as long as they possibly can. So you do see it more and more. So I see it more and more. Typically, a lot of your big retirement states, Arizona and Florida, and we're nowhere near the numbers that those states produce for attracting retirees. But we are attracting a few retirees. Okay, I don't like hearing that about California liability insurance because gun owners might feel less obligated to look twice and beyond your target. Yeah, correct. Absolutely correct. I guess my first thought when I see an article like that is it's another law that impacts law-abiding citizens. So, and maybe we need to look more at not the responsible gun owners, but the people who have firearms that are restricted from firearms due to many different situations. What can we do as a society to get the guns out of the people that would possibly commit crimes and violence? So that's just my take on it, as opposed to what we're constantly doing to law-abiding gun owners who follow all the rules, very responsible people. And everything, or it just appears a lot of things get targeted that direction. So we had here over the last 2 to 3 weeks in the state of Utah, in the city of West Valley, one student shot 3 other students. 2 students passed away. 1 student is very critical condition. Is still alive, but in very, very bad shape. But I think I read somewhere where they said that due to the age of the student, I believe he was about 14 years old, that there's a possibility that he could be released from prison at the age of 21. So, yeah. Yep. Okay. Any more questions this evening? It might be a quiet night. Well, there's no football games on tonight. So for a few months there, I was competing, I guess, with the Thursday evening football. Has anybody got some picks for this weekend's games? Last weekend's games were, I think I picked most of the games wrong, but the Sunday games were unbelievable. That Kansas City, the Kansas City Buffalo game, that was excitement. Wow. And even the Tampa Bay game, I was constantly thinking, is Brady going to make a comeback? Is he going to actually bring the team back and win the game? And very similar to how he did in the Super Bowl there a few years ago. So a great set of games last weekend. So, and that was an amazing game too. The San Francisco Green Bay game in the cold weather and the snow coming down. So this weekend, I think we've got San Francisco and LA Rams and Cincinnati against Kansas City. Yep. So yeah, some good games. I think that California game will be really exciting between the 49ers and the Rams. I think that's going to be a very close game. So I don't know if there's any stop in Kansas City. The way they played last weekend, it was just phenomenal. Offense, defense, it's they had the whole package together. The beginning of the season, they didn't seem as good, but now towards the end of the season, they're really rolling. That team is on a roll. So good. Any more questions this evening? Quiet night. Well, you're welcome to also reach out to me. Email, text, call, whatever you would like. I will answer your questions, and I'm going to call it an evening, and hope everybody will take care, stay safe, and I hope to join you next week.